Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today we are visiting Shakespeare's Verona in an interesting and clever two-player game. This is called Verona Twist. In this game, Romeo and Juliet are disguised as two characters in the town square, and it is up to the players to either keep them hidden. That's the nurse's job. One player will be playing the nurse. The other player, Juliet's father, is trying to suss out who they are pretending to be and capture them. And so the players are going to be playing a sort of deduction game in which they will move some characters on the board. The nurse will give some information to the other player, and that player will eliminate some possibilities as to who these characters might be. It's a lot easier if I just show you how this all works together. So let's go ahead and cut to the table. I'll give you a look at the game. We'll come on back, and I'll give you some final thoughts. To set up the game, the nurse player is going to take all 7 of the characters, and they'll place them anywhere they want to in the square here, however they'd like. And then they are going to take the stack of characters, same as these here, and take 2 that represent the characters that Romeo and Juliet are pretending to be, that they are disguised as, all right? So, and they would not show this to the Capulet player. And so, for example, they might take these 2, they would hide them, and then the rest would be set aside in the box unseen. And that is what Capulet is looking for, trying to figure out the identity of the 2 characters that the kids are disguised as. All right, you're going to play over 7 rounds. The one side, the nurse side, is trying to keep those identities from being revealed. Capulet is, of course, trying to identify them. Over here are 15 tokens that show every possible combination of those 2 characters. And if this is ever reduced to a single token, they've been caught. If that happens before the end of the game here. And so the players are now going to take turns. Each round goes like this. They take turns moving these characters around the board. At the end of the round, the nurse is going to announce whether they are in the same kind of area or different areas, okay? And the areas are the center of the square here or the ones on the outside. That's it, those 2 areas. And so going back to our example, if the round ended right now, they would say that they are in the same area, as seeing as to how these 2 are both in the center. And anything that would not fit that clue could be eliminated by Capulet over here. And so, for example, let's say it was like this at the end of the round. They said same. Well, I could eliminate, for one thing, this one, because it shows this character in one area, this character in a different area. So this could be removed, as well as all the other ones that meet that criteria, all right? Now, to take the turn, again, these are hidden. The players are going to, as I said, alternate taking actions, moving these characters, and each one moves in a different way on the board. So let's go over them. This character here can move 1 space into any adjacent spot, and after it moves, it's going to flip over its token. And that is the prince. The princess right here can move as far as they want in a straight line, not jumping over other things. And once that's done, they will flip over as well. This one over here, the noble, is going to move as far as they want to in a straight line, not diagonally. Again, cannot jump over something, and they are going to flip over. This character over here, the servant, can move a single space, not diagonally, and again, once they're done, flip over. This character over here, the friar, has to jump a different character, and it will stop in the very next empty space. And so this one could jump to there and flip over. If it was here, it could jump over this one to the very next empty spot. If it was like this, it could still jump over this one, but it has to stop again at the very next empty spot. And then lastly, this one can move diagonally, may not jump, and as far as they want to. So if they were here, the only option would be moving from here to here or from here to here. And then flip over. And then the announcement comes as to whether the characters are in the same area or different areas. These are eliminated. The top token from here is removed to denote a day has passed. These are all flipped back over, and we start with the movement again, trying to reduce these. The Lord Capulet is, anyway, trying to reduce these so as to leave a single possible choice. And every round, Capulet is going to make the first move over here. And part of the trick, of course, is forcing the choices that the characters have to be limited in order to produce a desired result over here. Especially once, half or 2/3 of these are gone. And then it starts to get very tactical as to who you want to move when, what choices you allow, that sort of thing among the character powers. It is also possible that a character cannot take a legal move. Let's say, all of these have already moved and ended up in these positions. And then the next player would have to move this one, seeing as to how it's the last one. Or, let's say it's a turn here. This player goes like that, takes that action. Well, the round is immediately over because this character cannot take a legal move. They cannot jump over anything. So we flip that face down as well, and the round's over. We go right to the declaration. So there you go. That's how the game works. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. So there you go. That is Verona Twist. A very clever game, as you can see. And right away, when I read the rules for this, when I started to play, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is like a Mr. Jack game. If you've never played those, it's a very similar concept. 2 players, one trying to deduce possible options until they come to a solution. It's not really a deduction, but it is sort of elimination of options until you've got your answer. This is so similar. This is lighter than those games, the Mr. Jack series of games, but it almost feels like a bonus game within that series. I was very happy about that because I like those games very much. And so I think here they've done that concept very well and with some care. So let's dive in, all right? I liked just about everything in the game. I'm going to go ahead and break it down, but I'll go through these quickly because I'm very happy with it. The theme I like. It's well implemented. I like seeing this. Could have been generic, but they went with Romeo and Juliet. I like it. The aesthetics, really good stuff. The board is a puzzle piece board. I was a little worried about that. It turns out they fit very well together, and I was happy with it. The tiles, the tokens rather, those are nice. They're sort of plastic bakelite pieces. They work together very well. Replayability is good. I like that as well. You can, of course, switch sides. That's going to give you some replayability, but also just the way the puzzle develops a little bit is going to be clever. Now, the replayability isn't my biggest positive here. I'll put it that way. But I do like it. I think there's going to be a nice amount to come back to here. I do wish there were more characters with different movement patterns, maybe a little more sort of in the way of special abilities and that sort of thing. But what is here is good and replayable. Game length, the box lists 20 minutes. I think it's about right, 20-25 minutes. And that's really fast for a thinky abstract/deduction game. Really good filler, for 2 people. Ease of play is high. The characters move very easily. I know I said I want more. I just said I want more character, powers and movement and such. That would have hurt the ease of play. And I understand that. Because the ease of play is high. And the game it's one you could teach it just about anybody. The 2 sides are interesting to play. It's fun. That all works well together. Lastly, tactics and strategy and luck, right? So there is no luck in the game. Everything is open. Once you've seen the setup, everything is open. And I do like that the first round, maybe 2 rounds, you're just sort of trying to eliminate large swaths of characters as the one side, as the other one trying to prevent that from happening. The last half of the game, I'll say, the tactics just really ramp up. Where you'll have moments you're sitting there going, well, if I move this character, it prevents that one from moving, which means you'll move that one over here, and then I get first stab at making this situation where all of these are in the same group. Little things like that. It really comes alive, and that's interesting to me. I thought that the game surprised me and how well it was able to pull that off, This idea of either having everybody you want in the same group or in different groups, the information you pass along to the other player, and as the other player, forcing situations where the nurse has to give up a bunch of information. Really enjoyed that. So overall, this one was a very pleasant surprise, I have to say. I had seen it before, just sitting on a table. It looked good. Pieces looked great. I like the idea. I did not realize when I saw it, though, that it was this kind of game. This sort of Mr. Jack concept. Now, having played it and having enjoyed it a few times, I have to say I'm surprised. I am very happy and surprised with it. It does feel like a bonus Mr. Jack game, and so this one's going to get a seal of approval from me. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for a two-player game that does something a little bit different in a very short amount of time. This is a good one. So there you go. That's Verona Twist. I'm Z Garcia, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.